Hello, thank you for being in a new video. I am at the global launch of the new BYD Shark. This is not a channel entirely dedicated to automotive matters, so if you are looking for mechanical things, engine information, and more, this is not the right place. There are many other creators who will take care of that, but I want to take a look at it from a technological point of view, see what it offers inside, and some other details about its battery. So join me, let us go get to know it. Here we go, let us start. Well, as you can see, we are talking about a pickup, so this is the vehicle format, but in this case we are talking about a hybrid vehicle, so we will find a gasoline engine, 2 electric motors, which makes it an interesting bet from my point of view. Back here we do not have an ultra spacious storage space, but if you notice at the bottom there is something that caught my attention, and it is a section or an area where we will find plugs or contacts, better said, so you can connect some device there, and you could even connect a heater, which are products that consume quite a bit of energy. So it catches my attention that you can connect this type of products to this truck. It could even be a mini refrigerator or something like that. So it is a truck very focused on adventurers who want to go out and want to have these types of products available that generally need to be plugged into the electric current. So here you can also plug them in, although obviously it will drain the battery. So we would have to see how much autonomy it could give you in these conditions. But it is an interesting proposal. But now it is time to access this pickup so we can see what is inside. Let us see how we do with this experience. I am actually a fan of all the buttons, controls, and everything related to that. So I want to talk to you about that. Here we find some little buttons. Look at the first one. It will serve us to deploy and fold this part of the mirrors. Then we have these other 2 buttons here to adjust precisely the angle or tilt of these mirrors. So all these little buttons, mirror controls with the lock. I do not think there is anything very advanced in this part. And on the steering wheel, we will also find many options. To start, we have the screen to have all the information about your driving, the battery status, the approximate gasoline autonomy, and well, the basic information in general. The steering wheel integrates some buttons for driving assistance options, and the interesting thing about this truck is that it comes with different driving modes. So you can simply turn this knob and see how at the top you will switch between the driving modes. We have Eco, Normal, and Sport, depending on your favorite driving style. And we also have another slider on the right side that will help us choose different types of terrain, since this truck also has different mechanisms that manage the wheel rotation and other more advanced things in terms of mechanics. But basically, you can see that you can switch between these terrains. It can be a sandy terrain. It can also change to a snowy terrain or a muddy terrain, as they call it around here. And as I mentioned, the snowy one. So we have these different terrains that will completely adapt the vehicle's driving. But there are other interesting things on the right side of the vehicle. To start, we have another rotary wheel to control the volume. That is something I liked a lot, although it does not have physical buttons on the dashboard for volume control or knobs, at least on the steering wheel. We find this knob that really facilitates vehicle control. But what also caught my attention a lot was the voice assistant. Although in this case it has a button that you can call it in any way, you could also call this voice assistant even without any button. So it is a vehicle that has a voice assistant that you can call both with a button and by saying hi bye. And as you can see, the assistant immediately activated. We can give it some instructions. For example, let us ask it to lower the front windows. So let us also test how long it takes to respond. Hi Bid, lower the front windows. Let's give it another try. Hi Big, please roll down the front windows and let's see. Ah, there it is. Well, it seems like it didn't quite understand my previous command. I'll try increasing the air conditioning temperature by 1 degree. Clearly this assistant is still learning, so we need to be more specific with our commands. Let's tell it to open the windows and see if it can understand me better this time. Hi Big, please open the front windows. There it is. That worked very well. I lower them immediately. The truth is that it did not take long. So I tell you, it is just a matter of learning the right commands. I am going to tell it now to close high big, close the front windows, and let's see. There it is immediately. Hey, I like that. I like that about this vehicle because it not only controls the windows, obviously you also saw that it controls the air conditioning and some other little things. So if you do not want to be distracted looking for buttons or something, you just say the voice command and that is it. Let me confirm if those voice commands work only when it has a SIM card, since it is a vehicle that you can connect to the network. So it is likely that this voice assistant works only when it has an internet connection, but I will confirm that for you here on the screen. As you noticed, we now move to the screen we have here. A very important feature, like almost all Vivo IDs, is that it is capable of rotating, a function that you will not be using all the time to rotate. But I think it is good for you as a user to choose whether you prefer the vertical or horizontal layout. So I like having the option to choose. I just do not know if it is necessary to have all this mechanism, or from my point of view, they could save a bit and give a completely manual mechanism that simply with a button you unlock, rotate the screen, and with a simple click it sets in the vertical position. But well, it is obviously an attractive touch that BYD wants to give to its vehicles to show that it is a vehicle very focused on technology. Now, this screen has its own operating system that you immediately notice is based on Android. So at times it feels like you are with an Android tablet here, but obviously it will not be just that. In fact, if you do not want to use the Vivo system, it also has compatibility with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So in that sense, there is no problem, unlike other past Vivo ID models that had that limitation. So in this case, you would have full access to Spotify, for example, as one of the star applications on the device. Let's swipe, because on the main screen, we have a kind of widgets where you can quickly access the navigation app, Spotify, or the radio. But if you swipe, you can also access other types of applications like the Vivo ID Assistant that we were already seeing. Well, we have here some other applications that might seem a bit strange to some people. For example, it is very curious to see a file manager in a vehicle. Personally, this seems a bit strange to me, but anyway, you could load your photos and other things here. I do not think it is common, but the function is available. And obviously, you can also access the settings and some other things from this screen. But something that also caught my attention about this screen is that it supports gestures that could replace the lack of some buttons. Although we talked about buttons at one point and all this dashboard that looks quite attractive. But what I specifically want to tell you is that with 3 fingers, for example, you could simply adjust the air conditioning temp, aerature, which I find very attractive, and with these same 3 fingers, but scrolling horizontally, you can adjust the fan speed of this air. So, hey, I find it very interesting. And since I am talking to you about the air, I must tell you that it is also capable of purifying the air. So it is not just air conditioning, but also an air purifier. In fact, in this part, it gives you information about how pure the air is outside where there are too many people. The air does not seem to have very good quality at the moment, but I am breathing purer air because I am inside this BYD Shark. So I also find it another interesting feature. Note that it will also offer us a completely panoramic view so that you are aware of everything that is happening around the camera. We have different view styles here that, as you can see, you can load. Obviously, one will be your favorite. Personally, I like having this type of visualization to always be aware of what is going on. Even as you can see, we have some presets here so you can quickly change the camera's viewing angle and take a quick look at everything that is happening around you. So, it is another interesting feature of this vehicle. Now, for me, it is inevitable at a software level to see how its system is, because as you can see up here, you can swipe down as if it were a cell phone. It does not seem to have a very fluid animation when doing this. You also have notifications as if it were a tablet. And here we have your control panel as if it were a tablet. Access to your connectivity, light mode or dark mode also available. Well, automatic mode, I suppose it will work together with the lights control of your vehicle, or you can also set it manually in a dark mode depending on your preferences. So it is also interesting in that sense. You have other types of controls for the vehicle sections that, by the way, I forgot to mention, it has a ventilation and heating system for the front seats. so you can travel comfortably here if it is very hot or very cold. Now, the part of the controls also seems super interesting to me because of the design it has, quite robust in this sense. Enough storage space down here, and something I had not mentioned to you but is also very interesting is that it has wireless charging, but it is not a simple wireless charging like you could find in several vehicles, but we are specifically talking about 50-watt wireless charging. The power level it reaches is impressive. Obviously, in this case, your mobile device must support 50 watts. This iPhone does not support even 10 watts, I think. I do not remember the power of the iPhone well, but believe me, it is far from being close to 50 watts. But there are other devices from Huawei, Xiaomi, Honor, and others that do support 50-watt charging. So if you want, you can quickly charge your phone by placing it on this base, which by the way seems to have a bit of cooling, which is always very good. Now, as you can see on this side, there is a bit more storage space with a USB-A or T, as well as another USB-C port, and curiously, a slot for micro SD cards. Something that is generally seen in low-end vehicles, but I find it curious that it is also present here. And another very important thing at a technological level is that it has NFC. So you can have the key on your cell phone, and simply by approaching it, it will open and unlock. Of course, you can also have a card with NFC, and apparently it also has button opening. So that is what we could have here. And look, without getting too much into topics I do not know, this is the platform used for this BYD Shark. It is DMO. And here what I want to highlight more than the engine and things I do not know very well is the Vivo Blade battery, which is super safe. It does not have any problems, even if it gets punctured, because it is made of lithium, iron, and phosphate. And look, something curious about this BYD Shark is a karaoke. As you see there, they are in this karaoke environment. Well, it comes with a microphone that you can connect with all the reverb, delay effects, and more. So it brings its karaoke application. Obviously, it is not for when you are driving, in any case for the co-pilot and other things. But well, it is a function that could even be controversial for some people, but it is there so you can sing. And well, almost to finish, I want to show you the available colors and also for you to see how the mechanisms it integrates to be able to drive on quite strange terrains are. As you can observe in this particular case, one of the tires was entirely suspended in the air and possesses a multitude of mechanisms and advanced technologies to effortlessly surmount this specific type of obstacles. So it is available in white, black, or dark gray, and I believe there was also one in blue, but I have not seen it around here anywhere. Perhaps it would be worth checking other stores in the area for the blue option. So we will patiently wait for this car to arrive so you can see with your own eyes what I was telling you about earlier. Please ensure that you pay close attention to the wheels because that area is completely uneven and is one of the distinctive characteristics of this truck. In fact, everything can be done automatically since it has various driving modes, as I demonstrated to you just a moment ago. So, observe, as in this particular instance, one of the tires is observed moving forward, while one of them is left spinning in the air, and the vehicle still manages to maintain an upright position. Wow, I would be frightened to drive in that location, but observe, it is essentially entirely suspended in the air. Wow, I was genuinely surprised by how he managed to get through there. It was truly incredible, and the cameraman was even more incredible. Well, that is part of what is experienced in this global launch of the BYD Shark, and next I am going to get in to show me how fast this vehicle accelerates. I want you to see how there is a great displacement from the start. Notice how impressive it is from here. I am not struggling with the Shark. It is truly remarkable. I am thoroughly impressed with its performance and the level of innovation that BYD has achieved with this groundbreaking vehicle.
Wow, what is this? The system puts enough power on each wheel to make it more controllable, so as you will see, in addition to the type of seats, positioning, vehicle weight, platform or chassis balance, it's incredible. Now we are going to perform a highly emotional test which involves accelerating from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in approximately 5 to 7 seconds. Please pay close attention. All right, let's go. This is all set. On the count of 3, 2, 1, we take off full throttle. There we go, 50, 70, 80, 7, and just like that, we're soaring through the sky, the wind rushing past us, adrenaline pumping as we embark on our exhilarating journey. Yes, that's true. Wow, we actually managed to beat them. Did you see it? We scored 5 points. 5, which is quite impressive, and as you can see, it's a super good one. It has moved to high power and has great braking capacity. Well, there you have it. What do you think about that?
I do not know if all of you had the same perspective as me. I highly doubt it. But here in the outskirts, I was maneuvering, shaking me up and all. And the truth is, it was quite an exhilarating and thrilling experience. So, well, for now we have reached the end of this video. But before that, the prices are here behind me for anyone interested in this vehicle. Well, they just took them down. But the base version was $899,999. The 99999 pesos. Evidently, there will also be numerous financing alternatives and additional characteristics to obtain this automobile in the event that you were fond of it to a great extent. There it is, look. Well, it was $899,980 MXN to be exact. On screen, you see reference price in dollars too, so you can have an idea. Although remember, prices here are not same as those over there. Keep in mind that BYD selected Mexico for the worldwide unveiling of this vehicle, so the area holds significant importance for them. And note that the GS version is priced at $969,800 Mexican pesos. Once again on the screen, you see the reference price in dollars just to give you an idea, but remember it very well, the prices here are not the same as the prices you see over there on the other side. Currently, we've reached the end of this video. If you liked it, you know you can indicate it, and we'll see you on the next occasion.